Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. Of course, back here with Ben. We've got an exciting December. We're going to try and jam into a shorter video here. Tons of great things happening at Ehave. But first things first, Ben, how are you?
Oh, doing well, Jason. Happy New Year to you guys and your team up there.
Yeah, Happy New Year. What a crazy time, where it looks like you guys are entering, 2021 with a ton of headwind, a lot of things pushing you guys forward. Look, I don't even know where you want to start. So many things. I know we want to give people a CSE update, talk about some recent things with the company, obviously big updates that you guys pushed out in the past 2 weeks. Where do you want to start?
Well, let's start with the CSE. We're filing with the CETA to list on the CSE our short prospectus, and hopefully with the regulators, we should get comments back and try to have a 90-day window to be dual listed up on the Canadian Stock Exchange. And as well here in the US, we've upgraded by applying for the OTCBB, which puts it's one of the top tiers, and we're waiting for guidance when that will happen. But that's exciting accomplishment in 2020.
Yeah, no, obviously, hey, that's awesome. The psychedelics extremely hot up here in Canada, and the CSE gives you some reach into other places as well, which is fantastic. So cool. Hey, more investors is always good. I know there's a lot of people up here. We've seen feedback of people saying, oh, I wish I could buy the stock. I wish I could buy the stock. And it's great that we'll be coming to them with, hey, we do see what you're saying. We are moving down a path to get listed in Canada, which is awesome. Cool. Moving on from there, do you want to talk about? Pick your next of the 10 things that you guys have done this month. I'll keep letting you intro them.
Okay, great. So one of our big deals going into 2021 is we bought a company out of California called CureDash.com. Two young entrepreneurs created a system, a platform, almost an Uber-like for medicine to deliver intravenous IVs to your house with a nurse or a doctor, depending on the system. Today, CureDash is going to be integrated into Ehave. We're going to take their front end and back end IP, and we're creating a company that will address the ketamine business called CureDash. CureDash.com will be the world's first home delivery system for ketamine infusions using the CureDash protocols, understanding the legalities of what a ketamine is and the needs of using telemedicine and psychotherapy to give a well-rounded SaaS product. And so CureDash should be launching in Q1. It should have an app in the App Store, and it will focus on delivering ketamine to people at home for mental health, pain. And we're looking right now at palliative care for cancer. There's a big push for cancer patients who are dying to use ketamine for their understanding on their last weeks or months on Earth. And so for us, it's a new venture in an exciting sector.
Yeah. No, I want to give people some stats here. So this is crazy. And just to talk, in some relatable, I know people sometimes struggle to say, how big can this really be? Really to give people insight, the overall US just alcohol industry in 2019, I see here is about 250 billion. And the reason I'm relating it to alcohol, about 2% makes up for delivery services that are delivering alcohol. And if we pull up our handy dandy calculator here, just to really give people insights. And I know even a small portion can be a huge number, right? I mean, 250 mil at 2% is or 250 bill is $5 billion if I'm not mistaken. That's a huge number, and that's just at the very beginning. And they're expecting, they said here, deliveries grew 60% this year. So we expect some great growth going forward. And I really just wanted to mention that as a kind of relatable stat for some people that, are looking at, okay, how many people are really going to get this thing delivered to them?
And I have a good stat for you.
Please, would love it.
Yeah. So I think that we released in our news is Research has shown there's over $16 billion in the US ketamine business. 97% of ketamine infusions are done through IV or intramuscular, and they're usually done in something called a ketamine clinic.
Yeah.
And they're usually for mental health or pain. After COVID, those businesses have lost over 50% of their clients that aren't coming into the clinics to get their infusions. So where CureDash fills in is we'll be able to supply a technology in a box with an application for a ketamine clinic to go to their customer base and offer them a concierge service. And you're 100% correct. You know, a lot of people like things delivered, especially after the COVID. And so if there's a way to help those consumers and give the doctors or the clinicians that own the ketamine clinics a path and a process and the protocols to deliver intramuscular or intravenous IVs to a patient in their house, we feel that looks like 2021 and beyond will work, especially with some of the latest literature that's come out on palliative care and home delivery of ketamine for cancer patients. So it's an exciting time.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. And, you know, those stats didn't even include, obviously, COVID pushing a lot of deliveries and online stuff, you know, even further and home delivery stuff. So cool. No, moving on, like I want to ask before we go to the next thing, you know, in terms of CureDash, like, you know, what did this deal look like for people that aren't too familiar? Do you want to go through just quickly, you know, really the benefit to shareholders, what this looked like, how you got it done, maybe a little peek behind the curtain?
Sure. CureDash and CureDash. We picked up CureDash with the team and the assets for a decent price. And we see the integration already into CureDash and what the valuation could be. I believe that CureDash could generate revenues in Q2 and beyond. There's been indications already from other companies that would like the license, what we're developing. So I would say keep an eye out for CureDash.com, and as we update our website and it gets built out, and then some of the news that we should follow with are some of the developments of the integration of the CureDash technology, and then we'll announce once the app is available in the app stores for download. And that should all take place in Q2-1. I've already engaged a tech firm to work on integration and development. We should have a follow-up in the next few weeks, and update to the shareholders.
Cool. No, awesome. And that's fantastic. You know, moving on here, more December craziness. You know, really, you guys are kind of closing it out here. You know, Mycotopia. And do you want to kind of intro that for people that are just hearing about Ehave for the first time? I know, you know, I was looking, December was a huge month, a lot of new eyeballs, and, you know, really curious, for those people that have never seen Ehave before, this might be the first video they watch. Do you want to be able to kind of introduce, you know, Mycotopia a little bit and walk through that process?
Well, when I took over Ehave a little over a year and a half ago, and I decided to branch off into psychedelics and technology, I developed Mycotopia Therapies as a subsidiary. Mycotopia Therapies was developed for the medical tourism business in the retreat sector of psychedelics in certain countries where it's legal. And what happened is COVID took the medical tourism business for a loop, like all companies in tourism, and the retreat business and medical tourism is on vacation right now. And hopefully in the future with this vaccine, we'll see more people going to these retreats to get their medicine for mental health issues that they're having, where they can't do it here in the US or in other countries. And so what Mycotopia is, it's a company that has been structured to acquire and be part of other unique opportunities in the psychedelic business. And what I mean by that is we're looking at compounds, molecules like MindMed or Compass. Those are synthetics. And then you have botanicals, which a lot of companies are working through right now. And then you have biosynthesis. We're going to look at all of those and see where we can partner, acquire, joint venture with, and expand using Ehave's technology in the form of the dashboard to collect data sets on furthering the strategy of developing different paths to revenue in psychedelics. So where Mycotopia is going to come in is we like to make it a leader in the psychedelic sector based here out of the US. It will be listed in a new transaction called Mycotopia. The symbol today is TWGL. We announced it on Monday. We have a closing January 4th. When we close, Ehave shareholders will own 77% roughly of the outstanding shares of this new entity. It will have its own management team. I'll be the CEO, and it will have some new board members coming on. This company should trade under a new symbol once we apply to FINRA, and everything's filed, and the new ownership is exchanged hands.
Yeah. Well, hey, congratulations. First things first, I know, we can go through kind of, and I'd love to give people insight in an upcoming video on what a, kind of acquisition or, a M&A process looks like, and really give people the behind the scenes current look. But congratulations. I know it's not easy, a huge benefit to shareholders for sure. I'm curious for people that, wouldn't be, fully up to date on, of course, the company, but also the benefit to, to the shareholders. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, and, why people should care? Like, hey, you're getting a portion of this new company that, you guys are acquiring. Do you want to kind of walk through it?
Sure. It's a good question. How do Ehave shareholders benefit, which I am one of? They benefit because what we're doing is we're unlocking an asset that was inside Ehave today, and we're going to give it itself its own value. And as that grows in value and brings more value to the share price, that then reflects what Ehave shareholders' value is on the balance sheet. The opportunity here is that what we're going to do is once we have ownership, probably sometime in Q1, we'll end up doing some type of distribution. We'll probably end up announcing it in the form of a special dividend. We'll have to figure that out with the legal counsel and the transfer agent and understand how to distribute it. But some percentage of that transaction will go to the owners of record of Ehave shares. So the benefit for Ehave as well is that there's now an additional company that we can go out and raise capital with, that we don't have to dilute the parent company's shares. So as far as fundamentals are concerned, we have a fully owned subsidiary going forward called Mycotopia that is going to be isolating itself to do only psychedelic investments, purchases, acquisitions, joint ventures. And we hope to have something that's very special. And at the end of the day, when that happens, Ehave shareholders are going to own it.
Yeah. No, incredible. And I think really a part to think about, at least for people watching this video, and I'm sure you can say this better after, really a lot of psychedelic companies, doing one thing, really putting all their eggs in one basket. And it's great to see in many cases that you're adding more things to the Ehave opportunity, which is fantastic. You're looking at certain angles. Of course, there's different opportunities, and I think you're finding some pretty interesting ones for the industry to push Ehave forward. Now it's not just one thing, or it's not just this whatever gaming thing that was happening, or it's not this, it's not that. You're putting a lot of great things into one basket here, and allowing you to kind of structure the business to benefit from a lot of different parts of the industry growing. Would I be fair in saying that, or you want to kind of cap that off in your own way?
Yeah, no, I think that what you're saying is right on the money. I think that what we see is that all companies need to generate revenues. And so what I came into with a video game company that's in human trials, which we still are accelerating with, I saw that we needed to figure out how we can go out and become a business. And so the other businesses that we're exploring will hopefully generate revenues. I just hired a head of sales. Patrick Gallagher is coming on board out of Denver. And he will be building out the CRM system. We will be going heavy into reaching out to ketamine clinics for our software, research facilities. And so that's the goal for 2021, is to shareholder value, to bring as much as possible. And then at the same time, try to shore up the balance sheet with funding and go find revenue, producing revenue, partnering with revenue, licensing revenue, whatever we can develop with the tools that we've been working on for the last 16 months. Next year should be the year that we launch them. And this is why I'm bringing on a sales team.
Yeah. No, and I want to say, really, to wrap things up, and I'll let you do a final kind of kickoff. And I've got a question for you too, but from pushing, obviously psychedelics extremely hot in the Canadian market and the American market, but really so you're moving to the CSE, you're going to be listed there, and who knows what follows. Plus, 2 massive acquisitions, this month. Do you want to kind of talk, and a question for people? I saw one person like, okay, well, is this it? Is this the last acquisition? Are you still looking? That those types of questions did come up. Anything you wanted to say to those people asking, hey, can we expect more? Is Ben still looking, or are these the only 2 for now going into 2021?
That's a great question to end this with. Going into 2021, if you read the news that we came out with on Monday on the Mycotopia, I brought on a new board member for this new company, Mark Karofsky. He's from Jamaica, investment banker, 15 years, family business. And the reason why I asked Mark to join the board, besides his financial background and understanding transactions, is that he's in the heart of Jamaica, the Caribbean. If you look at companies like Red Light, they just announced they're opening in St. Vincent's and Grenada. If you look at other companies like MYCO, they're doing a Jamaican investment now. Field Trips, Jamaica. Jamaica's ground zero, and we'll be doing a deal in 2021 in Jamaica, probably a few. And so Mark has been brought on to bring investments to Mycotopia from that region of the world where psychedelics exist in Brazil, Peru, Mexico, and Jamaica, St. Vincent's, St. Kitts. And so it's exciting to see what 2021 brings. But yeah, to answer your question, we're always looking at great opportunities, great partnerships. We have a few on the horizon. Licensing agreements, we have a few on the horizon. And then we have some opportunities that we're going to explore in compounds and molecules. So 2021 looks bright.
Yeah, no, awesome. Hey, I think that's great. Congratulations on a crazy, year and a crazy December. Honestly, a lot of good, what looks like forward momentum. And we'll just obviously do our best to keep people updated. And I encourage, I know a lot of people learning about Ehave for the first time, a lot of questions, two acquisitions. Okay, what's the long game? Any questions for Ben, please leave them below. We hope to do a Q&A here coming up in early 2021, in January. And I'd love for anyone just hearing about Ehave for the first time, don't worry. We'd love to answer questions about, for new shareholders and old, of course. But please, drop them below. And if we don't get it in a video, I'll make sure I get you an answer in the comments. Ben, I think this was great. A good video for sure. Anything you want to add on top?
No, just happy, healthy, safe New Year to everybody, all the shareholders at Ehave. And you and your team up there, Jason, you did a great job this year. And 2021, it looks bright.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much again, guys. Have a great holidays, whatever's left. Stay healthy. And Ben, thanks so much for joining.
Ciao.